Before we start, a quick disclaimer. Everything demonstrated in this video is strictly for educational purposes, to show you how to protect yourself. All demonstrations are performed in a controlled lab environment on our own testing devices. We never target real users, and using this knowledge to gain unauthorized access to actual people or systems is strictly illegal and unethical.
In this demonstration, you'll learn how to use Evil-WinRM to remotely exploit a system. The Windows Remote Management Service, also known as WinRM, is a feature of Windows that allows administrators to remotely connect to a system and change its configuration settings. It saves the administrator from having to be physically at a computer to change its configuration. Evil-WinRM is a tool used by penetration testers that is used to exploit that service to gain access to a target system and extract info from the system or make malicious changes to that target system. Let's first look for target systems that have the WinRM service running. What we can do is we can use Nmap to scan for port 5985. So I'm going to do Nmap-st-p for port, and it's going to be the 5985 port. And then we can specify which systems we want to scan. In this case, I'm just going to scan the actual system that is my target system, 10.0.0.1. But keep in mind, you could do the whole network by specifying the subnet ID if you wanted to. It's just that's going to take a lot more time. So in my case, I'm just going to pick the system that I know does have that service running. So I hit enter, it does the port scan, and it does show that port 5985 is open on the target system. Perfect. So now I know 10.0.0.1 is a valid target. Again, in real world, I would have scanned the entire network. It would have took a few minutes, but then you'd have a list of systems that have that port open. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the evil-winrm command all by itself. And what that will do is that'll give you a list of switches. So if you want to see the help on the command itself, just type the command by itself. So evil-winrm, it comes up with the help on that command and shows me a list of the different switches that are supported. And we'll take a look at some of these switches as I continue on through the demo. So for instance, -i is how we can specify the IP address of the target system, whereas -u is how you specify a username, and -p is how you specify the password. So next thing I want to do is use the evil-winrm command to make a connection to the target system. So I'm going to do an evil-winrm space -i 10.0.0.1 is the IP address of the target system, -u, and then the username I want to authenticate as, and -p with the password. So this username and password you would have obtained through a credential attack earlier on. So I'm going to hit enter and see if it connects to the target system. And it does look like it was successful. Notice that my prompt has changed. I was in a Kali Linux prompt here, typing the evil-winrm command in. But notice that after the connection was established, looks like I'm in the PowerShell prompt of the target system. And at this point, I can start using any number of commands on that system, right? So for example, I'll use the whoami command. And with the whoami command, it reports back who I've authenticated as. So it looks like I'm logged in as quick24x7 is the domain name / the administrator account. If I wanted to, I could then go and fire off any Windows commands. For instance, I could use the netuser command to display a list of user accounts that exist on that system. Notice there's a T Smith account, a G Clark account. It looks like there's an Allen account as well, and a Marcia account. So I can see the user accounts that do exist. And better than that, if I wanted to, I could start creating accounts, right? So I could do a net user. I'm going to specify course 12_hacker is the user account. and I'll specify the password, capital PA $$W0RD1234/add. So it's created that account successfully. So my point is, now I've exploited the system and I'm thrown in a command prompt here, I can use any command prompt commands that I want. If I use the net user command again to view the list of accounts, I can see my Course 12 hacker over in that third column there at the top. Perfect. So not only can I use Windows commands, but because I'm in a PowerShell prompt, I can also use PowerShell commands. So for instance, I can use the getAdUser-filter star, and then I'm going to say format table, give me the name and the SAM account name. And notice that I've used a PowerShell command to retrieve the user account list as well. So my point is you can use any of the commands from that target system now that I'm in a command prompt. There are other specific Evil-WinRM commands that you can use as well. If I type in the word menu, it'll bring up the Evil-WinRM menu system. And notice that we do have a list of commands here. There's a DLL loader, there's a donut loader, there's an invoke binary, there's a bypass for MSI, there's a services command, an upload command, a download command, a menu command, and an exit command. So let's start at the very top here and just give you a quick description of each of these commands. So DLL loader is used to load a DLL into memory to make the functions that are in that DLL available to the attacker. Donut loader can be used to load code into memory and then execute that code. Invoke binary is used to run an executable file on the target from a path specified with the -e switch of the Evil-WinRM command itself. The bypass for MSI command is very interesting because it's used to disable the anti-malware service on the target system so that you can run malicious scripts or executables on that target system. The services command will list the services on the target system. The upload command is used to upload a file to the target system. The download command is used to download a file from the target system. And then the menu command is used to display this menu. And then finally, the exit command will get you out of the Evil-WinRM prompt, which you can see I'm at the bottom of the screen there in the red. Perfect. So let's take a look at downloading some confidential data from the target system to our Kali Linux system. So the idea here is what you could do is you could use your commands like ls to get a listing, or dir to get a listing of the different files that exist on the system. Now in this case, I happen to be in the documents folder of the administrator account on that system. And notice that there's a file there called customer_list.txt. So I'm thinking, okay, that looks really interesting. What I want to use is use the Evil-WinRM download command to download that file. So I'm going to use the download space and then the name of the file, customer_list.txt. And then I'm going to specify that I want to download it to the /home/student/downloads directory /customer_list.txt. So I specify the file that I want to download and where I want to download it to on my Kali Linux system. So I hit enter. It says that it downloaded the file successfully. It's a very small file, so you saw a bit of a progress bar there. Had it been a larger file, it would have taken quite a bit longer, right? But it's a very small text file. So now that it's downloaded, what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of my Evil-WinRM, and let's print out our working directory. Notice that I'm in the home student. I want to go to my home student downloads. So I'm going to do a cd/home/student/downloads. And I'm going to do an ls, and I can see there's a file there called customer_list.txt. Now, if I want to display the contents of that file, and keep in mind I'm on my pen testing system now with a copy of that file, I'm just going to use the cat command to display the contents, and notice that I can see, the information that's contained inside that sensitive file. So in this demonstration, you saw how to use Evil-WinRM to exploit a system and extract information from that system.